Most people naturally make a mistake when they calculate how much life insurance they need. This may not be an exciting topic, and so it's easy just to skip through. Here's what most people do. They say, oh, okay, I make, let's just say 80,000 and my wife makes 50,000. And we have a house debt, we have a mortgage of 300,000, and we've got a car payment, so we go 15,000 on the car, and then we're gonna have some burial costs. And they figure out all these debts and expenses at death. They say, okay, if I die, we need enough to pay off the house, pay off the cars, and put me in the ground, bury me. So maybe that number is 350,000. Okay, great. And now my wife, if I'm not here, certainly she could get by with $3,000 a month. That should be more than enough. And they failed to do that math to see what that number really is. Because if they actually did the math, it's probably not that 3,000 in this example. It might be 4,000. And then the other mistake is taking that 3 or 4,000 and putting it into a lump sum amount. A good rule of thumb is 4, maybe 5% if you're looking at a short-term payout. For example, you only want a death benefit that will help raise the kids for the next 10, 15 years, but you're not worried about your spouse being able to continue to save for retirement or do something down the road. You just want the minimum. Maybe you want just a 5% payout. But let's say you're conservative and you say, okay, 4% payout. And if I said, okay, it's not 3,000 a month, it's a little more than that, then you would say, okay, maybe that's 40,000 a year. Well, $40,000 a year needs $1 million policy because you have inflation, you have the cost of living adjustments. That's $1 million plus those debts you planned on paying off. So that's 1 million plus 350. So you need 1.3, 1.4. You probably at that point want to go to 1.5 just to make it a round number, and you might get a break point depending on the insurance company, and it doesn't cost any more than 1.4 just to go to 1.5. That's the right way to do it. Is don't just simplify and say, oh, she'll be good with this or he'll be good with this much a month. Go ahead and do the math and say, okay, maybe we do want to pay off the house, maybe we do want to pay the cars off. Yes, we want to pay for the burial and the funeral expenses. But after that's done, what are the real costs? It requires cash flow analysis. You need to run a cash flow, run your expenses. We do this with financial plans every day. But you need to do it, or your planner needs to do it, when you're determining how much life insurance you actually need. And you'll be surprised, a lot of people, most people, need $1 million, $2 million, at least 500,000, 750. Run the numbers, see exactly what you need. It's not going to be 250. That's almost certainly not nearly enough to properly replace your earnings potential and the contribution you make to the household at any point while you're working. Maybe as a retiree, you only need that much. But run the numbers, see what you're giving up. A retiree also needs to think about the sacrifice of Social Security. When one of you passes away, one of those Social Security checks will disappear. And that's something that the household was relying on. And your expenses in the household, if you pass away, are not going to go down as much as your Social Security check. Probably. Run the numbers, get the right answer, and then protect yourself. I'm Justin Struble with BSG Advisors. I'm not a broker, I'm a fixer.